It's Friday, it's the 12th of June, and after a 2 week break, or as you will see on his post today by Daryl Geraghty on the sportshacks.com, 14 days, a few hours, etc. It sounded almost like the introduction to a Prince song made very famous by Sinead O'Connor. But Daryl, you're far too young to remember Prince. I think you'd remember Sinead O'Connor, okay, but definitely too young to remember Prince. And Scoop Geraghty, I'm going to call you tonight, Daryl, because you did break the story on the 42 this week that Michael Noonan looks likely to go to Ajax. A great story. Well done on doing that. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much appreciated.
The reaction to the story that Michael Noonan looks set to sign Ajax, to join Ajax, even never mind sign Ajax. First of all, it's been very positive because this is seen as a very positive move for a young Irish player. We saw him linked to was Hoffenheim there before Christmas. There was talk of Glasgow Celtic. But this is a proper club for developing young players.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I saw that it went to other fans' club accounts that he was linked to in the recent past. So, and there was a bit of disappointment that he wasn't closer to joining them as they hoped. But yeah, this is an ideal move. By all accounts, after the trip on the bank holiday weekend, they got the feeling that this could be somewhere he could set up campus. This could be home for him. Very encouraging conversations with the club. Initially, we joined for the second team, but they're not separated. They're in the division below, so the standard's still quite high. So everything from training to eating meals, everything is meal times, all joined with the first team. So they're not separated as in 1 and 2. They're kind of together, which gave great encouragement.
Their whole philosophy, Daryl, I mean, we've seen this over the years. You know, this is the home of Dutch football. I mean, this is the country that developed total football all those years ago, and you know, Johan Cruyff, without a shadow of a doubt, has been one of the great influences on the world game. Never mind European football. So to flourish in Dutch football, as we've seen with Troy Parrott, if Michael can go there now and take this chance by the scruff of the neck, it's going to do nothing but the world of good.
Yeah, it's brilliant for his development, and having seen him since maybe the Ireland under-15s coming through, that was the one thing that stood out, was his intelligence, his sharpness. He just seemed to be that much quicker in thought than the other players. He wasn't physically imposing as a striker, even at that age, as he would be now. And to go to a club like that, like you said, that basically invented total football, and that football intelligence would serve him even better. And I think we still have to remind ourselves that he's not going there to do a Troy Parrott of last season, to go straight away and bang in 20 odd goals. That he's still so young, and this will be an ideal breeding ground for, like you said, to see some of the players, some of the best in history come through the club. So yeah, they still have that philosophy, and I think it'll marry very well to Michael's strengths.
I also think it's going to be a strength for him and a positive for him that he's not going to go straight into the first team environment. Now, he may well do, by the way, if he does so well very quickly. You know, they're not afraid to promote young players over there by no means. But if he does go there and he embraces their culture, not so much Dutch culture, but their culture, their football culture, it allows him to flourish away from the spotlight, because there won't be the same intensity. Had he signed for Celtic, for example, which is one of the clubs he was linked with, every Irish journalist will be writing, it's nearly there, he's nearly in the first team, he's going to be in the first team, Martin O'Neill's going to pick him, whatever the case may be. So this is a chance to develop a little bit away from the spotlight.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And like you've seen with Johnny Kenny and even other Irish players in recent years, that Celtic just seems to swallow up Irish players. I don't know what it is. But this, like you said, is ideal, just to step away from the spotlight, just be that bit further away that you're not seeing them and watching their training, or you're not just across the road to go to Celtic to watch them train or touch base. He's just that little bit further away, and away from the spotlight would be great for him, just because he has the expectation of the world on his shoulders, which he seems to thrive off. It makes him play better, I believe. But yeah, this is a great move, and they're feeling good about it at the moment. So hopefully the deal gets done soon.
He's a very grounded young man as well, isn't he? I mean, I've seen him in and around the place, and he's quite level-headed. He doesn't appear to get phased, which is a great attribute to have ahead of such a move.
Especially as a striker, yeah, you see that in his finishing. No matter who he's playing against, no matter the situation, he's unfazed in front of goal, and he's clinical. And goal scorers this day and age are a rarity. Everyone wants to be the number 10 or the winger out wide, where you're a forward or a front player that doesn't have to track back, which is ideal. But yeah, that box, that clinical fox in the box, the number 9, who's able to link up play has developed a lot as well as Shamrock Rovers. I know Stephen Bradley's been working on that with him, and that's come on a lot now in the last, especially last year. So yeah, he has all the attributes to do what he wants there. So fingers crossed now goes well.
We wish him well. It's not a done deal just yet, is it?
Not just yet. Not just yet. No, the advanced
Man
stages
says so. Well,
was
we wish
the
him
official
we wish
line.
him the best of luck with that. And another Noonan in the transfer news this week, because it would appear now. I know Kieran McKenna has quit as manager at Ipswich, but it would appear that Alex Noonan, the young Shamrock Rovers goalkeeper, may be off to Ipswich.
Yeah, that's the noise coming out of the camp. He's been over a few times. He's very, very highly rated at Shamrock Rovers. So don't imagine they'll be letting him go too easy, and there'll be a good deal in place. Again, it's just going to England so young. You have that fear in the back of your mind you might get swallowed up by the system. But then you see what Josh Keeley has done. He was the same at Spurs and just flourished when he went on loan, and that was in international recognition as well. So yeah, we don't have. It's hard to say if he'll get in or it'll be the similar path to Josh. But for Shamrock Rovers, it could be a good deal because he's so highly rated, and Ipswich are getting a top keeper. He is
And
class. So.
the good news is my good friend, I'm going to call him and I'll tell him that Rennie Gilmartin, Reg as he's known in football terms, is currently the goalkeeping coach for Ipswich Town. I haven't quite found out yet if Kieran McKenna's uh, what's he taking a break from the game, although I can't see him being away from the game for long, but you would assume that most of the backroom team will stay. Now, a new manager may come in and bring a different goalkeeping coach, but Rennie Gilmartin, he's worked with the top young Irish goalkeepers when he was part of the under-21 squad. He was part of the senior squad for a short time with John O'Shea. And so absolutely Rennie will look after him. He can,
Yeah.
that may, for all we know, that may well be part of the reason that it looks like Ipswich is going to be the destination for Alex Noonan. So before we discuss Friday night football, and you have, as I said, in your piece for the website, let's say for the Sports Hacks, you have worked out exactly how long we've waited for the return of football, and all those flights came back from Dublin Airport last weekend with players on board. But on Monday, Pico Lopez, Spain against Cape Verde. I see the Prairie Market in Tallaght are going to have a watch party. There's events being planned, Rovers fans, League of Ireland fans,
Yeah.
League of Ireland websites, etc., Twitter accounts. Everybody wishes Pico well because this is a story a little like Joseph Anang and Ghana and St. Patrick's Athletic, but particularly Pico because he's from Crumlin. He served this league so well. He served the PFAI so well. This is a good news story.
It's a brilliant news story. I think most of Dublin will come to a halt, and hopefully a lot more around the country as well, just to see basically one of our own. Let's call it. He's one of our own. He's playing for Cape Verde, but he's one of our own, representing the league on stage against one of the favourites that we might come to later. But yeah, like no bigger test in the world. It'd be great just to see how he copes, manages, and represents the league, and it's just going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it.
And his mum and dad and Leah, his wife, her parents, and little Diego, they're all out there. Leah and Diego are traveling around the States in a camper van. I'm sure that's going to be a great adventure with Leah's mum and dad, and Pico's mum and dad are I think they're taking the high road, so to speak, and a little bit more hotel based. But it's a great adventure. It's great for the family. It's great for Crumlin. It's great for Bohemians, of course, that we played with, home farm that he was involved with. Lord Celtic back in the day. It's a brilliant story, and for Shamrock Rovers to have their captain at the World Cup, fair play to them and fair play to him. We can only wish him well. Spain will be a bit of a test now. I mean, it's not Flanker Park on a Friday night, Darrell. We're going into this one.
It's not. It's not. I know. On one hand, I know Lamine Yamal is struggling to be fit. There's question marks over if he'll play in the groups at all. Or on one hand, you don't want them to see going up against Lamine Yamal, but then on the other hand, you want to test yourself against the best, and he's a world star already. But Spain are littered with stars, so I mean, no matter who they pick, it's going to be a different level.
Well, we wish Cape Verde and Pico Lopez. He's flying the flag for Ireland, so absolutely no doubt about that, and we wish him
Yeah,
well on
yeah,
Monday night, 5 o'clock Irish time kickoff. All the games live on RTE if you want to catch up with that one on Friday. Maybe if you're not working from home on Monday, just get off a little bit early, get home. On Friday night, Rovers go to Talca Park. Another big game. These games just seem to be big and big and big. Joey O'Brien against his old club, and Talca Park, we've discussed this many times, hasn't been the fortress that they needed to be there.
no, it hasn't. It's the same failings it seems to be every week. Like we seem to mention here every week when they play at home, it's the set pieces, it's the concession of the easy goals. They've shown that they can score, and they've no fear going forward. It's just I don't know if it's a fear or it's in the back of their minds that they seem to always concede. So it's just they just assume it's going to happen at some stage. So if they can get over that fear, and Joey's going to be working them pretty hard, especially defensively. You kind if they can get that out of their game and they pick up points at home to go with the best away form in the league, they could well comfortably get Europe. But title tilt is a bit of a stretch.
And it does look like Rovers are favourites, and we've said that many times. And nothing, I don't think anything
Yeah,
will have happened on the beaches of Europe over the last 2 weeks to convince us that Rovers won't be the favourites. But it does promise to be a very big game. I saw on Wednesday, I think it was, that Harry Vaughan has been released by Hull City. He was away with the under-21s, as indeed was Michael Noonan this week. Harry Vaughan
yeah.
for Bows, maybe an opportunity. He's been there on loan. He's looked a good player when he's been involved. They're up to second. The Rennie Revolution is back on track again. But they're away to Derry, and there's two games with a bit of GAA interest in them this week. So we'll talk about the second one in a minute. But Bows away to Derry. I think it's the last game at Celtic Park. Am I right?
I think so. Yeah, I think, and it's a week maybe too early for Bows who if they could have done something to push the game back a week or so, just to not have to play on that pitch, it would have been
Hmm.
ideal. We know the state of Derry themselves not not good up there at the moment. Talk of players rejecting contracts and who they're bringing in and who's looking to go. So it's not the noise out of the camp up there is it's not great. So for Bows, it could be a good time to play them. They're refreshed now. They've all the players are rested, and if they could announce, say, the Harry Vaughan deal on a permanent, might give the club, the fans a boost because they've seen that he has
Hmm.
glimpses of supreme talent, and again, he showed with the 21s and the little spell he got. So, yeah, this is a good one. This again, but you have to think past the pitch. It's just going to kill the game, I think. So, God only knows what could happen up there.
Isn't it interesting how we're now back for good. We're back from now till the end of the season. There's no more breaks. Obviously, some of the clubs will be off in Europe, but it's a chance for the likes of Bowes and Derry and Shelbourne to press the reset button and to start again and to hit a level that they have to maintain from now till the end of October.
Yeah, that's it. They've played everyone in the league already a couple of times, so they know what they have to be, and they see the Rovers level as well, and they've dropped some surprise points, so they know if they can just hit that consistency just a little bit more, they could definitely pull them back. And there should be no fear now, and there's nothing new until maybe the transfer window opens. One or two players come in or out on different teams, but in terms of the standard, they've seen the standard in the league now, and they know this is what we have to get to if you want to hit our aims of Europe or title or avoid relegation even. So big second half.
Here's one of those stories that makes this the greatest league in the world because on Friday night, Galway United against Dundalk should have been played at Pearse Stadium, which I think is out in Salt Hill from memory. It's not because there's a GA game on Saturday in the All Ireland qualifiers or championships or backdoor or whatever they're calling it these days. Galway have home advantage in that, so Galway, rightly, it's their pitch. They've had to say to Galway United, we're sorry. The venue they've come up with is Turner's Cross in Cork, which
I
Dundalk fans are not happy about. Now, to be fair, my understanding is that Dundalk were given a number of alternatives and turned them down. One of them, and you can understand this one perfectly, the reverse fixture in Oriel Park is the week of Dundalk's 100 celebrations, their centenary, and you can understand perfectly well why they didn't want to move that game. But even the fact that I'm led to believe again that they were offered the chance to play on Monday and said no. But it just seems very, very strange and very messy that we're now bringing both sets of supporters those who travel, and I don't think there'll be many, down to Cork for a game between Galway United and Dundalk.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch, and you're thinking that the season's slightly longer going to November. That was there really a rush to get this played on a Friday or this weekend? Could they have negotiated something down the line? I know Galway have offered a subsidised bus, €5 return, I think it is, for our season ticket holders to soften the blow. But like we were saying in the last podcast, even though there's no football being played, there's always something being played in the background. And this is just one of those stories that, I mean, we look back at the end of the season going, did that really happen? Did they play Turner's Cross? So, yeah, look, it's a great storyline for us. But for the fans and players, not so much. It's not great.
And it is going to affect the crowd. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Maybe there'll be some people in Cork because the game is on, they might go along, but it's not going to be like the sort of crowd that would have gotten Galway. It definitely wouldn't be the sort of crowd they're getting in Oriel Park. So we'll see how that works out. A couple of weeks ago, Daryl, you was it 3 draws you went for in the one weekend?
I did,
Yeah.
and I had 92nd minute winner.
I'm
Killed me.
going to stick my neck on the line this time. I'm going to go for 2 draws, and obviously the only 2 games left. Pats at home to Drogheda and Waterford at home to Sligo. Draws.
I'm having a bad influence on you, am I?
Well, I'm only going for 2 now. It's not quite as unpredictable as 3.
It's a good start. I wouldn't argue with that too much. Again, we spoke of Pat's inconsistency, and you're kind of hoping from Kev Doherty's point of view that having gotten them on the training ground for another week and drilled them again, that their defensive woes, much like Shelbourne, you're thinking is it psychological, is in their heads that, oh, we've been bad before, but now it's like you said, it's a reset. So you don't expect them to be as leaky at the back, especially with a manager like Kev. So you could definitely see a draw there. And then the game of the week for me, the battle at the bottom. I mean, it just feels massive. Just like Waterford have slightly improved. They're great at home. In the last, unbeaten in 5, I think 6 at home. So, and they're scoring goals with Tommies. So, as Sligo perspective, maybe just keep the gap. If you don't win, just definitely don't lose from their point of view.
And
So
that's
intriguing.
that's part of my reason for a draw. And also Tommy Lonergan, again, another man who had a good week with the 21s. I think he started the second game, and he's the league's top scorer at the moment. So good luck to everyone there. 2 draws. I'm saying Pats at home to Drogheda and Waterford at home to Sligo. Finally, Daryl, 2 bits of World Cup news or World Cup reaction, etc. Firstly, I know you cover a lot of the games in the Women's SSE Electricity League. Carla Ward's team, international team, they were beaten in France, but the second half they were a decent performance, and they're into the playoffs. They're going to be confident now going into those playoffs.
Yeah, it was a real game of 2 halves. You saw how France started last night; they were on fire, and the way they moved the ball around was exceptional. And you're kind of thinking, is a hangover from Friday for the Irish side? Was it just feels a game too much? But then the second half, they came out and played 20 yards further up the pitch and pressed France and actually tried to have a go with them, forcing them into a red card. And you're thinking, oh, here we go. Just still a quarter of an hour left at least to get a draw and take that draw of momentum into the playoffs. But then they had a couple of really good chances with Patton at the back post that the keeper did well, and Larkin's shot either side the keeper goes in. So, like you said, it's all about momentum. It's all about positivity now. To see that they were that close to qualifying automatically was basically unheard of after the first 2 defeats.
And I heard Carla, after the match, she was saying, if you offered us that at the start of this group, third stage in the group, but so they will bring that momentum forward. And I think Abby Larkin is going to be a player. Just she's developing all the time. Little bit indecisive, perhaps, with that chance, but that'll come with age and that'll come with experience. And we'll see. It'll be interesting to see who they get in the draw next week. Finally, Daryl, there's a bit of a tournament on in America, in Mexico, and in Canada. It's the other World Cup, the Men's World Cup. Mr. Infantino is in the news again this week with all sorts of threats and calls for him to resign coming his way. But thankfully, the football, we're now into football, and football will always get us our attention on the screen for the right reasons. What's your feeling on the World Cup? Put your neck on the line. Who's going to win the World Cup?
initial reaction is Spain, um, because I think Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal are, like we've seen before, are lethal. They've had a nice break. They haven't really been playing too much in recent weeks. I know Lamine Yamal's injured, but if they can find a good combination of that front three, maybe Ferran Torres in the middle, then their midfield will dominate. And I think that's important in the heat that they're going to play in. You know, Spanish players are used to heat, etc. But this is intense. But the way they keep the ball and can control the tempo, I think they're the sides I'm looking at that might do really well. And I don't think there's anyone better than Spain at that. So that's why I'm leaning towards them as favourites.
We just won't tell Pico.
No, look, Spain are our second side after Cape Verde. Let's be honest.
Daryl Garrity, football is back on a Friday night. Daryl Scoop Garrity, as I'm calling you this weather. Thank you, as always, for joining us here on Let's Talk Football on the sportshacks.com. And we look forward to next Friday when we will discuss how my double draw bet went. Hats at home to draw, the Waterford at home to Sligo. I have as much chance as I have now of winning the lottery on Friday night. But, we'll see how that goes. Daryl, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you. You too, Colin. Thanks. Speak soon.